Here we are then for round number 2 at Redlodge, 25th of April in the fine spring summer weather, and our venue for this round is the brilliant Redlodge Circuit. We are just over the Cambridgeshire Suffolk border, not too far from Mildenhall and the famous American Air Base. 1200 metre circuit, 11 turns, quite a technical track and very flat as well, not much elevation, so it's flat and very twisty in places. We have some perfect spring weather here, sunny forecast throughout the day, no rain forecast in the meteorological forecast, about 14 degrees and a light breeze. You would say this is pretty much perfect conditions for racing. So in association with Motor Oils, we have the vets who are in the waiting zone and will take to the track for their sighting lap in just a few moments. This is always an incredibly competitive class, and we'll have a look at how they line up. The fastest rider in the qualifying was Matthew Davis, just ahead of Phil Dickens in second position. James Mostiger third, Andrew Thompson in fourth, Julian Gromit in fifth place, Ian Wareham in sixth position, Dean Bednarek 7th from Alan Brooks, Dervin Elaine in 9th, Ben Douglas 10th, Mike Smallbones and Simon Chambers taking us down to 12th position. Gav Tapton 13th from Ian Walker, Tony Reveley, William Horner, Stu Bateson and Mark Jarrett in 18th position. 19th John Pearson, Darren Coleman in 20th place, Gary Carter, Mick Price, Peter McDonald and Darren Hall in 24th place. Making final preparations in the waiting zone and out onto the course for their sighting laps. So the pit bike vets, always an incredibly competitive class. Plenty of action here at this perfect day for this second round of the championship. Riders now making their way down towards the final few corners, onto the line, and we will get our first moto underway in just a few moments for the Motor Soils Vets race. Very competitive start to this lap, of course. The riders go immediately into that tight left-handed centre corner. Good getaway is absolutely essential, but certainly don't want to overcook it. We've seen a few riders looping out on the start already as we wait for the green flag to drop, and away they go. Good getaway there from Davis down the inside, and it looks like he's going to hold on. From Phil Dickens in second, the rest of the field charging through into that first corner. And they all seem to get through the first few corners okay. Through centre they go, down towards 180. So Matthew Davis first. Looks like Phil Dickens, Ian Wareham in there as well. Down the back straight they go on the straight run. It looks like Dickens still leading the way. There's the 88 of Ian Wareham with a good start as well. Into the top corner they go as we see Davis guarding the inside as they go through into S's, that tight left-hander. About defending the line, you would say, on the first lap at the moment. It's quite a competitive getaway. Nick Lord in there possibly. There's Dervin Elaine going through. Ian Wareham, Dean Bednarek also well placed. Julian Gromit in there as well. Here they go for the first time. So Matthew Davis, your leader, just ahead of Phil Dickens. Wareham in third, Bednarek, Brooks, Dervin Elaine and Julian Gromit currently in 7th place. Making their way through. The rest of the field, Simon Chambers, Ian Walker, Mike Smallbones and Gary Carter a bit further behind from Stu Bateson and William Horner. Rider down, try and pick up the number, that's the 42 that went down there. That was Simon Chambers, who was in 9th place, had a good start, but that's all gone out the window now as he drops right to the back of the field. Rider okay, but dropping out of contention. Of course, got a few more laps to try and catch up with the rest of the field. Another rider down, one of the pit bike spares machines there that's gone down. It's the number 1. 27 getting back underway on the leathers, so we'll try and pick up that rider in a few moments. Action at the front though, as Julian Gromit has a look down the inside, going into centre. 1 or 2 riders then making mistakes at the start of this race, going down. Nothing serious, of course, but oh, trouble there for Dervin Elaine, is in trouble. The BR8 media machine gesticulates in despair. That bike is not responding to anything, just seems to have cut out. Looking down at the engine block there now, Almost seems to be wondering why. See if it wasn't spark. Maybe the coil would come off or something there. The spark would leave, but couldn't be that, of course. Wherever the issue is, Derverlane looks a bit dejected there. The bike's cut out and he is out of the race, so that'll shake up the top 10 a little bit. Matthew Davis still your race leader. Ian Wareham second position. This battle on the edge of the top 10, still charging away. Ian Walker in there. Phil Dickens a bit further behind as well. The rest of the top 10 making their way through. Mike Smallbones, Ian Walker, Stu Bateson. Thompson having looked down the inside of Bateson going into Senna. 7 laps to go, of course. And still fast and furious on the edge of the top 10. Matthew Davis, then your race leader. All the action behind here in the top 10 as they make their way along the straight run. There's 19. Thompson having looked down the inside of the 21. Great move into the S's. Really got to be strong down the inside there to make that move stick, and he's done so very well. There's the 115 Ian Walker also in there as well. Stu Bateson all on the edge of the top 10. Mike Smallbones pulling away now in 6th place. Bateson holding the inside line through Paddock Bend with the 51 of Phil Dickens right behind Ian Walker just going through. Stu Bateson, Dickens, Gary Carter 12th place, all very close on the top. Oh, nice move there from 51. So Phil Dickens on the 51 machine. And I think the rivals ahead of him there weren't expecting a rider to come down the inside into Senna, but Dickens really on the move here. Here he comes into that left-hander through the Warren. Nice exit there onto the straight run. That should line him up nicely into the S's, and he'll make that pass stick. Bateson has a look down the inside. So the rider to look out for here is the 51 of Phil Dickens, who's really getting to grips with this Redlodge circuit, starting to find some overtaking opportunities in there, and starting to work his way through the top 10. He's looking good at the moment as that top 10 battle makes his way through. We'll just recap the running order in a moment as the yellow flags are out on the first corner. It doesn't look like anyone's gone down, so I don't think that was Derverlane. He was in the infield as well with the broken machine, so must be a rider in trouble on the first corner with mechanical fault, one would clarify. Matthew Davis still your race leader, 48.643 last time round. Wareham 8 seconds down in second place as we watch the 72 of Stu Bateson doing battle here. Goes on the inside on the exit of the corner, down towards the Paddock Bend they go, and it looks like he's made the move, so Bateson goes into the top 10. So just to recap, Matthew Davis your race leader, 9.2 seconds the gap. Ian Wareham second, Alan Brooks in third position, Dean Bednarek fourth, Julian Gromit fifth. Andrew Thompson's moved into 6th place from Mike Smallbones. Phil Dickens, who we saw a few moments ago, he's still continuing his move through the field. He's up to 8th place. Ian Walker in 9th, and as we just saw a few moments ago, Stu Bateson breaks into the top 10. Gary Carter, William Horner, John Pearson a bit further behind. Darren Coleman going through. Here's our race leader. So Matthew Davis into the first corner on the 110, leading the race now by 9.2 seconds. Of course, he had trouble earlier on today, dropped the machine, but has recomposed himself quite nicely here. Through 180 he goes. We'll pick him up going into the Warren. 90-degree left-hander. Oh, that's Bateson that's gone down. Stu Bateson, who was in 10th place, he was working his way through the field so nicely. And as you can tell by the leathers, he's been skidding along the tracks and what the bike's gone as well. So of course especially these small capacity 4-stroke machines, sometimes when you lose the engine they can be difficult to restart. It looks like Bateson's got it going again. He's got a bit of work to do as Matthew Davis crosses the line with 2 laps to go into Senna. He's just got back markers in front at the moment. That's the 177. John Pearson currently in 12th place, goes a lap down. Pearson on his own at the moment. Of course, Bateson made that mistake, so that puts Pearson up another position. And there he is, currently in 12th place, just been lapped by the race leader. We can see the gap now between first and second place. We should be looking out for the number 88 of Ian Wareham. I think that's him there. Yes, indeed it is. So Wareham on his own in second place at the moment. Neatly down into Esses, that left-hander. And he was another rider, I think Wareham in the mini bike race earlier dropped the bike on the warm-up lap. Another one who's had a difficult start to the day, but looking good as Davis now takes the final lap. Wareham a distant second place, but at the moment he's got a cushion between himself and third, Alan Brooks. Brooks not quite close enough though to go for a pass at the moment as Wareham charges through on this final lap. We've got Bednarek and Gromit a bit further behind as well. And here is the leader, Matthew Davis, down into Esses for the final time. He's got a 12-second gap. Just needs to keep the bike pointing straight in now as he goes along the Simpson Straight. Curving ever so slightly into the final dogleg, down to Paddock Bend. And Matthew Davis, round the final corner he goes and takes the checker flag. Pit bike bets, heat number 1, race winner Matthew Davis. Really carving out a decent gap there as we wait for our second place rider to come through. There goes Pearson over the line in 12. It's Ian Wareham in third position, Brooks in third, should be Dean Bednarek in fourth as somebody's silencer drops off, so I'm sure they'll know about it in a few moments when they get back on the power. Bednarek fifth, Julian Gromit sixth, Phil Dickens seventh, Mike Smallbones eighth, Ian Walker and Gary Carter should be rounding out the top 10. There goes Walker in ninth. So Moto Oils Vets, race number 1 drawing to a close as the rest of the field go charging through. There is Carter at the edge of the top 10. Coming up next with all seasons interiors, we have the Mini GP Junior Supermoto 90. They're in the waiting zone and underway in just a few moments. Mini bike veterans about to get underway in association with Moto Oils, and let's have a look at how they line up as they take their places on the course. Matthew Davis leading them away from Ian Wareham, Alan Brooks in third, Andrew Thompson will line at fourth, Dean Bednarek in fifth, Julian Gromit in sixth position. Seventh is Phil Dickens from Mike Smallbones, Ian Walker, Gary Carter rounding out the top 10 from William Horner, and John Pearson in 12th place. Darren Coleman in 13th position, Stu Bates in 14th, Mick Price, Derva Lane in 16th position, Simon Chambers and James Mostiger 18th, showing us a DNS, so may not be starting. Further back we have Ben Douglas, Gav Tappenden, Tony Reveley, Mark Jarrett, Peter McDonald, Darren Hall in 24th. One or two riders dropped out of contention in the first moto earlier on today, so we'll wait and see if they line up for the start of race number 2. As the riders make their way through back towards the start line for the second moto in association with Moto Oils. Right, bets round 2. Just one or two riders still in the waiting zone looking to get underway. There's Derva Lane from BR8 Media on the 189. He had trouble in the first race, if you remember, dropped out of contention, so looking to get some points in the second race. Like we said, of course, it's a case that you can't win the championship at the first round, but you can certainly go away towards losing it. So one or two riders had a bit of trouble in the first race in the respective race classes earlier on today, so they've got a bit of catching up to. Of course, on the plus side, of course, there's still plenty of races to go in this championship. It's still far from over. As the pit bike bets warm up, I think we're just waiting for one or two of the Mini GP riders to make their way back off the circuit on that final lap. Final moments for the bets, and away they go. Just to recap, of course, here at Redlodge today, the weather forecast still fairly bright for today. It was quite sunny earlier on. We did see a few breaks of sunlight earlier, but clouding over and looking around 12 degrees. It's fairly cool out there, as I'm sure you'll see from the marshals and the officials watching the event. I think most people choosing their hoodies and coats for today. It's not the warmest today, and you'll see a few riders just trying to get some temperature in the tyres earlier on. I'd say it's fairly good conditions for racing though. Sometimes when the track gets really hot, we saw, I remember Lyd last year was blisteringly hot day, and that causes its own trouble there to get the setup of the bikes correct, because the track gets a bit greasy, a lot of rubber goes down on the track, and that makes it difficult sometimes to get the grip, which sometimes even falls away from the riders when they least expect it. But this sort of weather you would almost say is perfect condition for racing, not too hot when you're racing out there either. So the Motor Oils pit bike vets making their way down to the line. Matthew Davis on the inside line will lead them away in just a few moments. As we see here at Redlodge, it's a very quick start, well, very quick run into the first corner, you would say. Good start, absolutely essential, the start straight. It's one of these courses where the start is on a corner. Really, you would say a classic karting style track. It's been here for nearly 30 years, Redlodge, and it's a really technical, typical karting venue, you would say. One of the more technical venues on the map, of course. Lyd, another one that has its moments as well, and Ella Parker, a rather medium speed style track. Different circuits, of course, can suit different riders better. Some riders prefer the high speed slipstreaming action of a track like Three Sisters, for example. Remember that Chase Collymore in particular, he went very well there last season in the fast nature of that track, real slipstream. But this is a bit different, of course. It's a bit more technical. Plenty of opportunities, of course, for getting past, and this is where we see the riders really trying to dive down the inside on some of these corners. Exit speed, of course, very important as well. Waiting now for the last few riders to make their way through. We just had a close-up there of the number 11 of Gary Carter. Slick rear tyre, of course, on these mini bikes. Looks like we are about ready to go, as I think there was an issue further back in the field. Riders are ready though. The starter makes his way down onto the grid. The green flag goes up. We wait for the flag to drop. And away we go. Matthew Davis with a nice getaway down the inside, really pulling away into the first corner. They charge through French corner into centre for the first time, bunching all together. Fast, fearsome moments there as they battle for position. Everyone staying upright just about. It's very close indeed as the midfield make their way through. But Matthew Davis with that great start down the inside. Look how much he's pulled away already. Looks like Ian Wareham in second place on the 88 from Alan Brooks, Andrew Thompson and Dean Bednarek a bit further behind. And there we see Wareham immediately guarding that second place. But Matthew Davis, this is what it's all about. When you get a good start, you can already pull away and make your own lines. You're not worrying about riders behind you guarding your inside lines. So Davis getting a good jump on the field and already started to pull away as the rest of the pack battle through in the top 10. So it's Davis the race leader. Wareham in second place. Looks like Alan Brooks also well positioned as well. Ian Wareham goes through. There's the 51 of Phil Dickens. He had a good start moving up to fifth place as well, just ahead of Dean Bednarek. Looks like Wareham's dropped a position though as Phil Dickens gets through to fourth place now. Look out for the number 51 here. He's starting to make his way through the top 10. Starting to pressure the number 19 now of Andrew Thompson. Oh, but he makes a mistake, goes onto the grass, and Dickens has gone down. He was trying to cut round the outside there, get some speed down the back straight, but went a bit too wide, got two wheels on the grass. Went for a bit of motocross racing, but it's not going to work out here on those slick tyres. Down he goes, and poor Phil Dickens, has to say, he started the race so well. Quite literally tumbles down the field as everyone else goes through upper position, and Dickens pretty much at the back of the field. Maybe we'll get the chance to look at that later on, but unfortunately Dickens just ran out of road. The race goes on, of course, and that means that Alan Brooks still second place. Davis getting cleared away at the front. Now he's running his own race, 4.4 seconds ahead. Brooks in second. Coming under some pressure now, though, from Thompson in third. And Andrew Thompson trying the inside on the straight, go through into the final corner. Davis leading the way. Oh, but trouble. That didn't look good at all, but I think that was Brooks in second. the bike went bang, I think there. That is not good news at all. Puff of smoke from the back. And it looks like Brooks is out of contention. Pulls into the infield. What a shame, because he was running so well. Well, I hope that's not terminal. I hope we can get the bike repaired for later on, but that didn't look good at all as he drops out of contention. Matthew Davis, of course, oblivious to all this trouble behind him, leads the race by 6 seconds now as we look a bit further back. There's the 69 of Dean Bednarek. It was Mike Smallbones behind, but it looks like he's been overtaken now by James Mostica. Matthew Davis, fastest lap of the race, 48.669, continues to lead the way. Thompson goes through in second. And the man on the move here is the number 69 of Dean Bednarek. A fast lap for him, putting Wareham under pressure. James Mostica, another rider on the move, going through into 5th position now. So Mostica on the charge, proudly displaying that number 1. Trying to close up on Wareham in 3rd. There's the 2nd place man, Andrew Thompson, now clear in 2nd. The man on the move here, though, is the champion, James Mostica. Into the Essex they go. Mostica has left behind now Dean Bednarek and Mike Smallbones now on the charge. I think this will be a very good lap. James Mostica really getting on the pace now as he tries to close up on the 88. Ian Wareham in 3rd. There goes Bednarek, fairly left behind now in 5th place. Closely followed by the 617 of Mike Smallbones. Rest of the top 10 made up of Ian Walker, Stu Bateson, Ben Douglas. Well, Ben Douglas through into 8th position. Stu Bateson and William Horner running up the top 10. Smallbones putting the pressure on Bednarek for 5th place. James Mostica charging on now, started to close up on the 3rd place man. Let's have a look at this number 1 as he starts to really put the pressure on. Mostica last time round 49.095, so as the race goes on he's really getting into a rhythm here and starts to put the pressure on Ian Wareham. Wareham, I'm sure, knows he's there. Mostica running well as we go to the closing part of the race. There's Thompson in 2nd. Mostica down the inside through French corner, makes the move stick, and he's got to hold that inside line into centre, which he does. And James Mostica through to 2nd place, and he is getting faster and faster here. Mostica, the fastest rider on the track at the moment, starting to close up on Andrew Thompson. I think barring disaster, Matthew Davis, he's got a 10-second cushion at the front. He's going to have enough to hold on to the victory. But certainly for James Mostica, he's up to 3rd position now. And 2nd place, very much within reach here. Andrew Thompson potentially could be vulnerable here because Mostica really closing up in 3rd place. There's the number 19 in 2nd place. Andrew Thompson in 2nd, Mostica 3rd. And Mostica's closing up all the time here. Over the line they go into the 1st corner. Thompson with his fastest lap of the race, 49.664. Matthew Davis, 10.3 seconds clear at this stage, so it's very much a battle for 2nd. The back marker moves to one side, lets leading group through. I'll give a shout out here for Derva Lane, who had a tricky first race. He's moved into the top 10 on the 189. Also running well is the 68 of William Horner. Those two battling with 10th place brawler. Attention here is on James Mostica in 3rd. Really putting Andrew Thompson under pressure as they make their way through the S's. Down the back straight they go. Here they come down towards the final corner. Matthew Davis with his fastest lap of the race, 48.471. That's the fastest lap of the race so far. 11 seconds adrift. Here's the battle for 2nd. Mostica having a look on the inside into centre. Not quite enough, though, to get through. Thompson, number 19, holds on to 2nd place. They make their way down to 180, one of the slowest parts of the track. Exit speed, very important here. And Thompson does well to pull away slightly. Through the Warren they go with that off-cambered left-hander down the back straight. Thompson's got a bit of drive here. Maybe he didn't realise that Mostica was so close. He's put a good lap in here and trying to pull away. Mostica right in there, though, in 3rd. Davis, meanwhile, as you can see on your graphic, has already taken the last lap flag. Really got a race of his own, but all the action here for 2nd place. James Mostica really putting the pressure on Thompson for 2nd. Still Ian Wareham, Dean Bednarek, Mike Smallbones. Ben Douglas, Stu Bateson, Derva Lane and William Horner a bit further behind. For our champion here, James Mostiger, trying to close up. Meanwhile, Matthew Davis looking to make it a flag victory almost here. He's led pretty much the entire race through the S's for the final time. He's got a 12-second cushion here. No risks now, down the straight for the final time. There's the 1:64. Tony Revley's going to be the last rider on the lead lap as Davis takes the checkered flag. Who's it going to be though, with Thompson and Mostiger for second? Great race there though for Matthew Davis. Here they come down for the final time, and Thompson is, oh, it's going to be close here. Side by side over the line. Thompson just about holds on to second place from Mostiger. Great battle to the line there. Ian Wareham in fourth position. Dean Bednarek from Mike Smallbones in sixth place. Looks like it's going to be Ian Walker, Ben Douglas, Derva Lane continuing his fight back there. He goes through in ninth place. He had a difficult start to the race, of course, but he goes through in ninth from Stu Bateson, who rounds out the top 10. Fantastic action in this Motul Oils Pit Bike Bets second race of the day. We move on to the all-season interior Mini GP Junior Supermoto 90, and they'll be getting underway in just a few moments. Nicely warmed up. Riders on track, and it looks like the timing crew are ready to go. Green flag goes up, and the restart of the Motos Mini Bike 140 gets underway. Another good start there from Dean Quincy, but the 84 getting down the inside, charging into that first corner. Round they go through French corner to Senna, that tight left-handed hairpin. 84, your race leader. Reese Morgan, Joshua Crew, Dean Quincy, all getting away well. They make their way through 180 for the first time, through to the Warren, that left-handed off-cambered, 90-degree left-handed. Dean Quincy down the inside into the S's for the first time and takes the lead. So I don't think he was too happy to see the red flag come out, but it certainly seems to have worked in his favour. They go past the accident site there, down the back straight towards the paddock bend in the final corner. So it looks like Dean Quincy holding on to the lead on the first lap. Joshua Crew in second place will pick up 84, the unidentified name, in third. Adam Jameson fourth, Paul Mitchell, Lewis Mackay, Stephen Humphreys close behind as well. Good clean first lap, everyone staying out of trouble. Through to the first flying lap. Oh, it's all very close, so into 180, some bar banging there, and a rider stationary on the hairpin. That's the 735 of Lewis Mackay. Now, whether he just caught the back wheel of the slower rider and just stalled the engine, I think. He lost the engine, he's got it kick-started back into life. The race goes on. Lewis Mackay dropping from sixth place, he's back underway, although towards the back of the field. Dean Quincy continuing to lead the way. Joshua Crew not too far behind in second place, 84 in third. Adam Jameson and Paul Mitchell. So that means, of course, with Mackay dropping out of contention, Stephen Humphreys will move into sixth position. Although 86 making the move, of course, the rider we're looking at now, that's Chris Impey moving into sixth place. Oh, and just behind Impey. Now it is Impey that's gone down, actually. 86 just lost the front end. Coming out of Senna, and he's lost the engine as well. He's got to get it kick-started back into life. Finds a gear, and away he goes. So a small mistake there from Chris Impey, goes down, and that's how easily it happens. He just seemed to, the front end just got away from him on the corner. Here's the 21 now of Tommy Ullman, who will move into seventh place. That means that Stephen Humphreys goes back into sixth position. Dean Quincy continues to lead here. They come into the first corner. This great battle with 3 laps to go. Joshua Crew and Adam Jameson all very close. So Dean Quincy getting to the lead early on, and now he's having to act defensively here because he's coming under a lot of pressure from Joshua Crew as they go into 180, that tight hairpin. Oh, and Crew's touched the back end, down he goes. And very smartly finds a gap and runs to the side of the course to retrieve his bike. There we see the catch underneath the sump there. That catches the oil when the bikes go down, or if they lose any fluids during the race. Doesn't seem to have lost anything onto the track, so that's good news. And of course, very good news that Joshua Crew's okay. Although I'm sure will be disappointed to be out of the race. There we see just another small error. He just touched the back wheel of Dean Quincy, misjudged the speed. And really, when that happens, nothing you can do. There's an incident on the S's as well. Rider's gone down with waved yellows. I'm not too sure who it is, but something's happened at the top of the circuit as well. So an incident-packed Moto's Mini Bike 140 Group B here. And Dean Quincy continues to lead the way as you look at another one of our midfield battles here. Well, looking towards 5th place. Stephen Humphries, fastest lap of the race last time round. He's moved up to 5th position now with, of course, crew dropping out of contention now, catching up on the 59 of Adam Jamieson as they make their way through to the top corner now into the S's. That wave yellow's gone back in, so whatever happened up there has cleared itself out. Stephen Humphries, the rider with the pink and blue Guy Martin replica helmet, the red and black leathers, 2-4-1 as the pack make their way to the last lap. It's getting close here at the front. Dean Quincy continues to lead the way, 84 in second. They're just going through Senna now. Jameson third, and Humphries finishing on good form here, starting to close up. There's your second place rider, Dean Quincy, continuing to lead the way. There he is through the Warren for the final time. Starting to pull away on this final lap. There goes Quincy, just out of shot, 84 second, 59 Jameson third. Humphries keeping the pressure on, close behind as well as the 668 of Paul Mitchell. Shout out to Uncle Andy, number 94 in this one as well. As Tamsin Island gets in touch on the YouTube. Dean Quincy leads them down the straight for the final time. Into Paddock Bend, round the final corner they go. Checkered flag comes out. And after such an eventful race, it's Dean Quincy that takes the checkered flag, 84 in second. The 59 of Adam Jamieson just about holding off Stephen Humphries with his fastest lap of the race. Paul Mitchell and Tommy Ullman fighting through to 6th place there on the number 21. And rest of the top 10, Ian Blatchford, MJ Cockfield, and the 107 of Kevin Clark just ahead of Alec Jones on the 32 as the midfield runners come screaming through. Here we go then for the final of the pit bike bets in association with Moto Oils. We'll look at the grid in just a few moments. There's Dervalane, who joined us in the commentary booth a few moments ago. He's back out on track for this final. Leading them away will be Matthew Davis from Andrew Thompson, Ian Wareham in third, Dean Bednarek in fourth, Mike Smallbones fifth, and Ian Walker in 6th position. 7th is William Horner from Gary Carter, John Pearson 9th, Darren Coleman in 10th, James Mostica 11th place from Alan Brooks. 13th position for Julian Gromit from Phil Dickens, Ben Douglas, Dervalane in 16th, Stu Bates in 17th from Gav Tappenden in 18th place. 19th for Tony Reveley from Mick Price, Peter McDonald, Mark Jarrett, Darren Hall, and Simon Chambers rounding out the field a bit further down. This 24 rider grid. Last few riders making their way around on the sighting lap underway very shortly, so the pit bike bets, don't want to give the age away to these people, but reading through the regulations, this is for riders aged 14 above. Shout out to the camera crews here from Alpha Live. As we say, you can see the coats all nicely wrapped up. That's on the first corner there. It is quite fresh outside, you would say, so they've had a great job stood outside all day along with all the marshals and officials. So this is for riders, don't want to give the ages away of these riders, but in regulations for riders aged 40 and over. No minimum weight application, and as we say with most of the classes, there is sort of guidelines on what can and can't be done to the bikes to keep it within an affordable championship. As away go the vets into the first corner, charging through. Let's have a look. That was a good start there from Matthew Davis. It looks like he's held on as they make their way down towards 180 for the first time. Looks like a good clean start. Oh, there was Dervalane there, barging his way through. Aggressive move on into the corner there, and he makes the move stick from, I think that was Alan Brooks. So Matthew Davis gets away. Andrew Thompson second. Ian Wareham also well placed. James Mostica number 1 fighting his way through the field as well as they make their way into Essex for the first time. There's the number 11 as well of Gary Carter. So I think we've had a bit of attrition in this group as well. The was about 24, it looked like, on the line earlier on, dropping down to 17 for the final. So the riders that are still there, battling away, led by Matthew Davis. Andrew Thompson second, only 7/10 of a second between those two riders. Ian Wareham in third, Mike Smallbones fourth, Gary Carter, Ian Walker, James Mostica in 7th place, Ben Douglas up to 8th, William Horner drops to 9th position, and Stu Bateson rounds out the top 10. Derva Lane, Gav Tappenden, Tony Reveley, John Pearson, Darren Coleman down to 15th, and the field rounded out by Alan Brooks on the 88, Mick Price, number 7, in 17th position. So Gary Carter coming under some pressure now from the 115, that's 151 on the timing sheets, Ian Walker, who in turn is being pressured by James Mostica and Ben Douglas. There's Mostica being overtaken now by Douglas, coming down in towards the paddock bend. Matthew Davis still leads, 48.707, fastest lap of the race. Just under a second covering him from the second place, but all the action here for 5th position. Mostica trying to go around the outside of the number 11, Gary Carter. So 1:10, Matthew Davis, your race leader. Andrew Thompson in second, Ian Wareham third, Mike Smallbones fourth. There we see on the latest timing charts, Smallbones ahead of Walker, but it's all change here because it looks like Ben Douglas has gone through into 6th place. And this great battle for 7th. Look out for Derva Lane as he's making his way through the field. We spoke to him earlier, of course. He was telling us about the track and how it's one of these courses, he's never been here before, but it's one of these where you really see riders making a pass about 3 corners in the making. They have to ride the track in sequence. And the Lane having a good final here. He's coming into the top 10, starting to pressurise the 72 of Stu Bates and Gary Carter. Number 11 drops a few positions as the Lane tries the outside line. There's the 189 of Derva Lane, putting the number 11 of Gary Carter under pressure for 9th position. William Horner, 68 in there just behind as well. So the top 10 still wide open. Matthew Davis increasing the gap at the front to 1.9 seconds. Thompson still in second, Wareham third. As we look at the 72, looking down there, that was Bateson. He had some sort of a fault with the bike, maybe just checking something. Carter guarding the inside line in the Essex. Derva Lane trying to have a look, squares the outside line to cut across and get the move done. Down the Simpson straight now, it's all down to willpower. Can he get the inside line? Yes, he can. He's going to make it stick. Oh, and Derva Lane with a classic block pass there, going through Paddock Bend, and has made it stick. The Lane now up to 9th place. So Carter aggressively losing that position. He's down to 10th place now and coming under some pressure. And you would say that was a classic block pass there from Derva Lane, taking the corner and aggressively blocking the rider, preventing them from repassing. It's a fair move, of course. That was a textbook block pass there from this rider now, Derva Lane, who is now up to 9th place. Matthew Davis has just crossed the line. Oh, and trouble here for the 68. That is the machine of William Horner that's gone down. Looks like he's just switching off the fuel tap just to stop the bike from flooding. So it looks like Horner's okay. That looks like it's the exit of Senna on that first corner that just turns in on itself. This is turn number 2 on the track, so Horner appears to be okay. Went down in the midfield, just getting the bike straightened out. He's okay, but still with 7 laps to go, it looks like his race effectively is over as he tumbles down the field. Not really need a rush to get going again, so looks like he's given his best in this one. Matthew Davis still leads, Andrew Thompson second, Ian Wareham third. Here we look at the number 13 of Gav Tappenden. And Tappenden making his way through the field. He's got past the number 11 of Gary Carter into 10th place. Carter losing a few positions now. He's having a bit of hard work out there, but still getting around there. Just getting some championship points, still a long way to go in terms of the title, of course. And there goes Carter. Derva Lane pulling away slightly in 9th place. Running an association, of course, with BR8. And a very strong social media presence in the world of mini bike racing with their weekly podcast as well. Look out for BR8 on social media for some of the week-to-week news on the world of mini bike racing. Dervalin, one of the driving forces behind that, still sitting there in 9th place as the race charges on. And Matthew Davis, 1:10, your race leader, who has run so well in this race. He's just crossed the line going through towards the 180 section. There's number 1 of James Mostiker, who is now starting to put Ben Douglas under pressure. They charge through into French corner, in towards Senna. Douglas holds the inside line. Mostiker, who fought back so well in the second race earlier on, trying to make his way through, squares the turn out to 180. Nice move there, but Douglas enough to shut the door on him. Now, is that Mike Smallbones ahead of them? Don't think it is. That's the 7-2-3, a bit further down. Might actually be Darren Coleman, who's just been lapped, as Mostiker tries to square the turn coming out of Esses. Down the Simpson Straight they go towards Paddock Bend, and Mostiker down the inside to repeat what Dervalin did a few laps ago. Classic block pass there. But Douglas not giving up and fights down the inside of Mostiker. He's got the momentum into the first corner though and holds on to the position. So James Mostiker now up to 5th place. Matthew Davis continues to lead the way. The gap has gone up to 5.2 seconds. Mostiker now finally, after all that pressure, clear in 5th place. He's got about 4 seconds to catch up on Mike Smallbones, but Mostiker again finishing the race strongly here. With the exception of the first 2 riders, Mostiker currently the fastest rider on the track. We'll look at these lap times when they come through once again with, let's have a look, 3 laps to go. It'll be 2 laps next time round. We're expecting Davis over the line any moment now. 3 laps to go. Looking back towards the midfield with Dervalin battling with Bateson now, and I think may have made the move. Rest of the top 10 crossing the line, so yes indeed, Dervalin has gone up to 8th place. He's having a good final here in the vets. But Bateson trying to fight back down the inside as they go through. Rest of the top 10 make their way through. Gav Tappenden with his fastest lap of the race, 51.6. Just ahead of Gary Carter. Tony Raveley goes through. 3 more races to go after this, but our Moto sponsored pit bike vets drawing to a close very soon, of course. Matthew Davis looking in good form, and he makes his way through the 180 section, more technical part of the track. There he is, down towards the left-hander. Goes through the Warren, back onto the faster part of the course now. Down the back straight he goes, in towards Esses, and Davis, your race leader, should have 1.5 laps to go. And here he comes. He's got 5.8 second gap, so I think he knows he's got the cushion at the front. He's just taking his time now, not making any risks. Down the straight he goes to take the last lap board. Through French corner into Senna, that tight left-hand hairpin that really does turn in on itself. Davis just taking it nice and smooth at the front. He's got the gap. It's 5.5 seconds. He's had the fastest lap of the race, 48.3. None of that counts for anything, though, unless he can bring this bike home in 1st place, which I think at the moment he's looking to do so through the off-camber for the final time. And Matthew Davis has pretty much led the entire race into the Esses for the final time. Slower part of the track then, immediately back on the power down this technical Simpson Straight. It's a good overtaking opportunity here, but none of that, of course, will bother Matthew Davis, who makes his way round the final corner. There he goes through Paddock Bend and will take the checkered flag. Matthew Davis, your race winner in the Pit Bike Vets final. Andrew Thompson through in 2nd position. Looks like it's going to be Ian Wareham in 3rd. There's James Mostiker coming through in 4th position. Mike Smallbones set to come through in 5th place. So great first round of the championship for the number 110. Matthew Davis takes the victory in the Pit Bike Vets final. We have 3 more races to go. Mini bikes 140 Group B and Group A coming up a bit later on, but we will start things off with the OMG Racing Mini GP 190s and 70s. Those riders in the waiting zone now and will be underway in just a few moments.